Patrick Nolan writes, "Your show fascinates me and I never miss an episode. Keep up the great work." My question may be difficult to answer, but how recognizable do you think the show is around Hollywood at this point? You've had the likes of Chris Pratt, James Gunn, Kevin Feige, and the Russo Brothers on your set, and based on his Guardians interview, it sounds like Vin Diesel is certainly a fan. Is it weird for you to be gaining this level of you're going to help me, John.
Notoriety.
Notoriety. Hey, learned a new word. Do actors, directors, etc. ever contact you and request to make an appearance on the show? And is Vin Diesel the most high-profile fan that you know of at this point? Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
Here's the funny thing about the show. Much like sometimes when we talk about some obscure cartoon superhero characters, and we'll say, okay, I understand you think this character is really big because you and your circle of friends like them, but really in the wider thing, it's really not that big. We're not that big. We're not that big. I think people overestimate how big our show is right now, and because I mean, don't get me wrong. Compared to some shows, we're really big, but we're not really. I mean, I hang out every once in a while with the Fine Brothers. I mean, they have like 25 million people watch their videos every single day. I mean, that's very different from our experience. But what is weird for me is walking around like Comic-Con. I still have never gotten used to this. Walking around Comic-Con, like me and Jeremy Johns were walking around together, and like having people, or we go down to the Burbank 16, like every time we go there, people will come up and say, watch AMC Movie Talk. Yay, and then usually they'll ask me about either Alicia or Schnepp. And they don't really want to talk to me. But so that is kind of weird, but how much influence we have in Hollywood, I've done a scientific formula on this. I believe the number is 0%. We have absolutely no influence over anybody, anywhere, anytime. We're simply not.
Can I say something? Because I think you're being very modest. As someone who comes in, who's on the outside, I'm not a regular on the show. I'm a maybe regular contributor. There's a reason I like doing this show. It's a very good show. People are watching it. I got to tell you, every time I do this show, I see my spikes on my numbers on my site, I Am Rogue. I see your fans on my Twitter, your fans on my Facebook, and I'm very appreciative of it. There are fans that watch this show, and I think that industry is taking notice too. I mean, you get great guests on this show, and what always surprises me, I mean, I just assume no one's looking at I Am Rogue, and that I put something out there, no one's ever going to see it. And and you do this a lot too, Alicia. We interview these celebrities every day, and they start to know our faces. And actors, I'll let you all in a little secret, actors love to read about themselves.
What?
They do. Actors and directors love to watch their interviews. And I'm so shocked and surprised anytime I have someone say, oh yeah, I watch I Am Rogue, or I watch this, and I think the same thing happens here. Just a real quick story, I interviewed Mel Brooks recently when he got his hands in the Chinese.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
And so, I go up to Mel Brooks and I was going to do, a setup with the publicist, going to do a little interview, and he says, oh, what's this for? Who are you with? And I said, I Am Rogue. And he said, oh, Rogue, Rogue's really big in my house. I watch Rogue every day. I think he was totally lying, and he was trying to make me feel good. But the fact that I have on video Mel Brooks telling me that he watches my website every day is a huge thrill. And I think you guys have a much more legitimate celebrity fan base. I mean,
definitely every time I go to a press junket and I say from AMC Theatres, people perk up, and I've had people say, oh, Movie Talk, I love the show. Yeah. So I think people do know about it. The best part for me is obviously the fans, the viewers.
Oh, they're awesome.
Who I just love talking with on all social media. And a great story was when I was in London for Edge of Tomorrow, and they made me do that scene where I was really terrible at, because I can't act at all. But the extra I was working with said, oh, Alicia, Movie Talk, I love it. And I was like, wow, and he's this English actor, and he watches the show every single day. So it's you guys that make
this show is becoming big. You get a huge fan base, I think a celebrity fan base as well, and that's why I like doing the show. It's congratulations. You've done a good job, my friend.
Well, thank you. But my favorite story so far isn't even the Vin Diesel one, but the Vin Diesel thing was really
cool. That was cool.
My favorite story, though, was Chris Pratt. Because Chris Pratt was here in studio one time, and he hung out with me, and my wife Ann was here, and a few of us. And anyway, fast forward a couple months later, I go to the junket to do the interviews with them, and I go and I sit down with Chris Pratt, and the guy always introduces you first as you're walking in. So John from AMC, and he says, oh, AMC, we came and did that thing at your studio. I'm like, yeah. He goes, and your wife was there, Ann. How's Ann doing, right? Okay, so I tell Ann that Chris Pratt remembered who you were and asked how you were doing. For the entire rest of the day, it's like she was a deer caught in the headlights. Like you can just tell somewhere in the back of her mind she's thinking about how fast can I pack and move out of the house if Chris Pratt becomes available? Sort of thing.
Hey everyone, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.